Chapter 15. Water. We will learn distribution of water on Earth, sources of water, uses of water, states of water, water cycle, natural calamities, conservation of water. Try to answer. How do people live in places such as deserts where there is very little water? Why can we not use seawater for drinking? Water is the medium of life. It is the most abundant compound found in all organisms. About 70% of the human body is made up of water. Directly or indirectly, water affects all facets of life. Without it, there would be no vegetation on land, no oxygen for animals to breathe, and the planet would look entirely different than it is today. However, we also need water for many other activities such as cooking, washing, cleaning, and irrigation. Distribution of water on Earth. About 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. But about 97% of this water is in the form of saline water in oceans and seas. We cannot drink saline water. Only 3% of the water present on the Earth is fresh water, out of which 2%, about 70% of all fresh water, is locked up in the glaciers and ice caps. So we have 1% of all the water on the Earth left to distribute. About 29% of Earth's fresh water, approximately 0.6% of all water on Earth, is found as groundwater. Groundwater is an important source of drinking water for us, but its exhaustive use has led to a great fall in its level. Only about 0.3% of all the fresh water, about 0.009% of all water on Earth, is available for us in the form of lakes, streams, rivers, water vapor, etc. That makes water a precious resource. Sources of water. Water is available through various sources discussed below. Rainwater. Rainwater is a major source of water. It occurs when the evaporated water is condensed high up in the atmosphere. It is the purest form of water. However, while falling down on the earth in the form of rain, hail, or snow, it gets mixed with dust and other impurities present in the atmosphere and becomes polluted. Do you know? In metropolitan cities, where the atmosphere is polluted, rainwater contains dust particles and gases such as carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, and sulfur, which make it acidic. Such kind of a rain is called acid rain. Groundwater. When the rainwater falls on the Earth's surface, most of it runs off into the streams, rivers, or lakes. Some of it evaporates back into the atmosphere, and part of it percolates down to join the water table above a layer of non-porous rock. The water table shows the level of groundwater. This groundwater is a source of fresh water. During the course of its percolation, it passes through the different layers of gravel, sand, and rocks where it gets naturally filtered and gets free from suspended impurities. It can be obtained by digging wells or tube wells. Deep groundwater is usually safe for drinking. However, pollution, groundwater contamination, and overuse of groundwater is causing the water table in cities and towns to go down rapidly. This is a great cause of worry. Surface water. The water in the streams, rivers, dams, and lakes is called surface water. They usually get their supply from rainwater as well as melting snow. The rivers like the Ganga and the Brahmaputra contain the surface water from the molten ice of the Himalayan region. This water is not safe to drink as it runs off the Earth's surface. It carries many soluble impurities and animal excreta along with it. It also contains germs. Also, sewage from cities and harmful substances from factories are usually discharged into the rivers. Most of the drinking water supplied to us in towns and cities is from rivers. To make this polluted water fit for use, it is treated in water treatment plants before being sent for domestic or commercial use. Sea and ocean water. The oceans and seas contain 97% of the total water present in the Earth's surface. The sea water is saline water with large amounts of dissolved salts. It is non-potable and rich in salts such as sodium chloride, sodium bromide, magnesium chloride and potassium iodide. Ice caps and glaciers. About 70% of the Earth's fresh water is locked in glaciers and polar ice caps. But most of this ice is not available for our use. Only a small part of the frozen water in mountain glaciers melts and thus can be used. The Siachen Glacier in India is an example of a glacier. Uses of water. Water is very important for our daily life. Some important uses of water are listed below. To carry out various life processes, water is essential for normal functioning of life processes. It acts as a medium in humans and animals for performing various life processes such as digestion of food, absorption of nutrients by the body, distribution of various nutrients and oxygen to different parts of the body, and removal of wastes in the form of urine and sweat from the body. It also helps in regulating the body temperature. Habitat. Water provides a natural habitat to a large number of marine plants such as lotus and hydrilla and animals such as fish, dolphins and whales living in oceans, rivers, lakes and ponds. Water provides them dissolved nutrients and oxygen for their survival. Agriculture. In plants, water is essential for photosynthesis and seed dispersal. Water dissolves nutrients in the soil. These are then absorbed by the plants through their roots along with the water. It acts as a medium for transporting nutrients from the soil and food from the leaves to different parts of the plant. It also keeps the leaves of a plant cool through transpiration. Irrigation helps plants to get the water they need, especially in summer. Electricity. Water stored in dams and reservoirs is used for generating electricity. Such electricity is known as hydroelectricity. Transportation. It is used to transport goods and people in ships. It is the cheapest way of transporting goods from one continent to another. Industries. Water is essential in many industries for many purposes such as cleaning, washing and cooling. Some industries use steam to run their machines. All the manufacturing industries need a regular supply of water. Water is used in the manufacturing of various medicines and chemicals. Household use. We use water in our day-to-day lives for drinking, cooking, washing, bathing and cleaning. It is also used to flush the toilet. Fire extinguishing. Water is used in fire extinguishing. States of water. In nature, water exists in three forms: solid, ice, liquid, water, and gas, water vapor. Solid form, water, in solid form, on the earth is present in the form of glaciers, snow-covered mountains and as ice caps in the polar regions. Liquid form, water in the liquid form is present in oceans, lakes and rivers. Gaseous form, water in the gaseous form is present in the air as water vapor. All the three states of water are interchangeable. Solid form of water, ice, can be converted into liquid form, water, by melting. Liquid form of water can be converted into gaseous form, water vapor, by evaporation. Gaseous form, water vapor, can be converted into liquid form, water, by the process of condensation. Liquid form, water, can be converted into solid form, ice, by freezing. Activity. Aim: to study that temperature affects the rate of evaporation. Materials required: 2 flat-bottomed bowls of the same size and water. Procedure: take 2 flat-bottomed bowls of the same size and pour 100 milliliters of water into each bowl. Leave one bowl at one corner of a room. Place the other bowl openly exposed to the direct sunlight. Leave them undisturbed for 2 to 3 hours. Observation: we will find that the level of water in the bowl kept in sunlight is less than that of the bowl kept in the room. Conclusion: the water level in the 2 bowls decreases because of evaporation. However, the rate of evaporation changes with the change in temperature. Higher the temperature, the faster is the rate of evaporation. Activity: aim: to observe condensation of water. Materials required: a glass or a metal tumbler, ice-cold water, and a handkerchief. Procedure: take a glass tumbler and wipe it dry, both inside and outside. Pour ice-cold water in the tumbler. Place it on the table and allow it to stand for some time. Observation: we will find some water droplets on the outer surfaces of the tumbler. Conclusion: this is because water vapor in the atmosphere condenses on the cold surface of the tumbler. Water cycle: the cyclic movement of water from Earth to atmosphere and back to Earth through various processes is called water cycle or hydrological cycle. Different steps of water cycle include evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, and surface runoff. 1. Evaporation: the water present on the surface of oceans, seas, rivers, lakes and ponds gets evaporated by the sun's heat. This process of conversion of water from the liquid state to vapor state is called evaporation. Evaporation can also take place from wet clothes and fields. For example, when we put wet clothes in the sun, after some time our clothes get dry because of the process of evaporation. 2. Transpiration: plants also contribute to water cycle by adding a large amount of water vapor through transpiration. They take up water for various purposes. The rest of the water is released into air in the form of water vapor by the process of transpiration. 3. Condensation: the evaporated water is carried away by warm air. As the warm air moves higher from the surface of the earth, it starts to cool down. This water vapor condenses on dust particles present in the atmosphere to form tiny water droplets which float in air to form clouds or fog. 4. Precipitation: all these droplets collect to form bigger drops of water. Bigger water drops come down as rain by the process of precipitation. If the air is too cold, the water drops can become snow or hail and may settle on the top of a mountain. When these snow or hail melts, they can become part of a river or a stream. 5. Surface runoff: some amount of rainwater is absorbed by the soil and settles down as groundwater. Most of the rainwater flows down the hills and mountains to collect into rivers, lakes or streams. Rain also washes away the topmost layer of the soil into water bodies. This process repeats again and again in a never-ending cycle. Thus, the total amount of water in this universe remains constant. It only changes its form from solid to liquid to gas. The water cycle ensures the availability of water for all living organisms and regulates weather pattern on our planet. It also maintains balance between the water on land and in the water bodies. Natural calamities. Natural calamities related to water are floods and droughts. These are uncontrolled conditions during which floods and droughts affect an area or a region. The less rain causes drought, but the excessive rain leads to flood. Both of these conditions create disturbance in the living conditions on the earth. Drought. Drought is a condition of prolonged dry period when enough water is not available to fulfill the water requirement. It occurs generally due to the lack of rainfall. An excessive use of underground water for different activities contributes to this condition. During drought, the rivers, ponds, lakes and other water sources dry up. In India, the drought conditions occur mostly because of the delayed rainfall when the monsoon season comes and goes without any rainfall. The states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh get very less or no rain in monsoon. These areas are most vulnerable to droughts. Effects of drought. The direct effect of drought appears on land, but everyone feels its impact. Various effects of drought are as follows. It results in mass death of plants and animals due to dehydration. It results in drying up of wells, lakes, ponds and thereby creating water scarcity. Soil erosion occurs because of low plant cover. It causes decline in the quality and quantity of groundwater. Plants and animals not only suffer the scarcity of water but also are threatened by the bushfires and hot dust storms. Farmers are not able to grow crops due to scarcity of water. This leads to a lack of food in the region and is called famine. In a famine, people die of starvation and dehydration. It also results in forest fires caused by enormous amount of heat from the scorching sun. Flood. Flood is a condition in which the earth's surface gets submerged underwater due to heavy rain and overflowing of rivers. Excessive rainfall in an area can lead to severe flooding. Effects of flood. Floods damage crops, roads and buildings. Floods cause excessive loss of life and property. Floods create waterlogging in the soil, bringing out stored air from the spaces. Organisms such as earthworms, ants, insects, rats, rabbits and snakes living under soil get disturbed by floods. Floods cause stagnation of water, forming the breeding ground for many disease-causing organisms. Diseases such as cholera, diarrhea and malaria can easily spread during floods. These are called waterborne diseases. Floods affect electricity, water supply, transport and communication. This results in a shortage of food, drinking water and shelter. Houses are washed away, cattle die in large numbers and crops are destroyed. Farmers are the major victims of floods. Floods cause uprooting of trees. Floods also cause soil erosion. They wash away the top fertile soil of the area. Floods also disturb many kinds of food chains. A number of steps are taken to reduce the occurrence of floods. Afforestation helps to prevent the flood and its effects. Therefore, deforestation, that is, the indiscriminate felling of trees, should be discouraged. Trees obstruct the water flow, hence reduce the flood's intensity, and their roots also help to absorb the floodwater. Conservation of water. Most cities and villages face water shortage. Therefore, it becomes necessary for all of us to use water carefully. The conservation of water means saving water and using it judiciously so that it is available to all the people. Here are some ways by which we can conserve water. 1. Do not allow wastage of water through open taps while brushing, bathing, shaving and other household activities. 2. Repair the leaking taps immediately. 3. Recycle the water at home. Do not throw water after washing vegetables and cereals. Pour it into the plants or use it for mopping. 4. Use bucket and mug instead of pipes with running water to wash cars. 5. Dams and reservoirs should be constructed on a river to collect water and control floods. 6. Planting trees also helps to conserve water. Roots of plants bind the soil particles. This helps in percolation of water. 7. Industrial waste and sewage should be treated before its discharge into the water sources. 8. Farmers should adopt drip irrigation technique for watering crops. In this type of irrigation, roots of plants are watered drop by drop. This saves up to 1/3 of water that could have been wasted by filling the entire field with water. 9. Use different irrigation methods in different regions. For example, sprinklers to check water losses through seepage and drip irrigation in areas with high rate of evaporation. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is being encouraged by the government these days as an important method of conserving groundwater. Most of the rainwater is wasted in the form of runoff. This can be avoided by rainwater harvesting. The basic idea behind rainwater harvesting is catch water where it falls. This can be done by rainwater harvesting in the following two ways. Rooftop rainwater harvesting. This method involves collection and storage of rainwater from the roofs of buildings in a trench below the ground in huge buildings or in small tanks in houses. It can be put to many uses such as washing cars, watering plants, and so on. Constant use of fresh water from the ground results in water scarcity. Rainwater harvesting increases the level of groundwater. Store the rainwater, instead leave it to go down the drain. Surface runoff harvesting. In low-lying areas, rainwater flows away as surface runoff. This rainwater flowing into roadside drains is allowed to flow into deep pits or tanks so that it adds to the groundwater. Keywords: water cycle, the cyclic movement of water from the earth to the atmosphere and then back to the earth. Evaporation, the process of conversion of water from liquid state to vapor state. Condensation, the process of conversion of water vapor into water on cooling. Transpiration, loss of water by the plants through their leaves. Drought, a long period when there is little or no rain. Famine, the condition when there is a drought for a long time leading to scarcity of water and food. Flood, a condition in which the earth's surface gets submerged underwater due to heavy rain and overflowing of rivers. Water conservation, saving water for use in future.